Greetings, everyone. This is Payment Lorenzo, your friend, your coach. Today, I'm excited. We're kicking off day one of the June live 5-day profitable podcast and YouTube launch challenge. This is a class for the US, Canada, Australia. And yeah, I'm excited. Let's get going. Let me start sharing my screen. Where is my live here? Okay. Do you guys see my screen? All right. All right. So welcome. It's going to be a fun week, very interactive and highly transformational. So by the end of the 5-day profitable podcast launch challenge, you will have an actionable blueprint to launch your profitable podcast and YouTube channel so that you can get leads on demand and clients organically, even if you have no audience to start with, in as little as 30 days. Are you guys excited? All right. So I'll be sharing with you guys exact same approach that allowed this guy right here, me, to get 6 clients in my first weekend, and then 60 clients in the next 10 months with a YouTube channel of less than 200 subscribers. Now, I need to update that, well over 150 iTicket clients in 18 months. But my channel now, as of yesterday, sitting at just under 1,500 subscribers, which is still very small. But as you will see, it's not about the numbers, but about the connections. That's what I'm talking about. So, before we start, who here wants to make money? And by money, I mean real money with a podcast and YouTube channel. Raise your hand if you really want to make some real money. Well, if I could, I would even raise my feet, but I don't want to lose my balance. All right, let's get going. So let's go quickly through the menu for tonight and for this week. So first of all, before that, we're gonna start with, let's do a quick meet and greet. Everybody, 30 seconds to introduce yourself. What do you do? What's your business? And what do you want to achieve through your own profitable podcast and YouTube channel? Starting from left to right. First one, Madlena.
Welcome, everyone. For me, it's 2 a.m. in the morning, as I am in Cologne, Germany. So you know how excited I am. So my name is Madlena, and I'm based, as I said, in Cologne, Germany. My background is dentistry. I worked as a dentist for more than 25 years. And then I followed my heart calling, sold my dental practice, and now I love working with women who deal with the empty nest syndrome. And I show them how to turn the emptiness and the silence of their emptiness into a stepping stone to reinvent themselves and start writing a new radiant chapter of their lives. That's me.
Love that. Thank you for staying with us. So when we first talked at the start of the call, I didn't know what to say. Good morning, good evening, good moonlighting. So anyway,
Moves in direction morning.
all right. Thank you for being here. Next, let me check who's here. Anne from beautiful tropical Edmonton.
Yes, I come from working in the industrial industry for 30 plus years. I got laid off 2 days before my 50th birthday.
Oh,
And that's when I decided that I was going to go all in on my business. So my business is coaching. I'm in the process of getting my coaching program now online. And that's only a few weeks away from launch. So this is good timing. And so other pieces of my business outside of coaching is I also promote digital marketing through master resale rights. You get to learn new skills in digital marketing, but also resell them at 100% profit. I am also part of network marketing, which is all about cellular health, so our foundational health in just a few products. So I love that stuff. So, as I come across people that are battling with their health challenges, no matter how big or small, I've got the cellular health to kind of add in the mix, so to speak.
beautiful. Love that. Next, Becca.
Hi everyone, I am Becca. I'm originally from England, but I'm currently in Canada. But I'm the other side from Anne. I'm in Ontario. On massage and crystal healing and like energy work, stuff like that. I also do something called Akashic Records, which is where I coach people to find out the root cause of all of their problems pretty much. And so we just literally go to as esoteric library and we talk to guys. It's all very spiritual, but it's like a coaching session where you can empower yourself to become the best you. And so I absolutely love that. That's my favorite one right now. I also do like tarot readings and stuff like that. Yeah, that's pretty much me. It's like a list of stuff that I do, but I won't go into it all today. But yeah, that's me in a nutshell.
Love that, love that, love that. Thank you for being here. Alison from beautiful Melbourne, right? Oh, Brisbane, sorry, Brisbane.
No, Brisbane. So I'm Brisbane, Australia. I'm so excited for this. So everything I'm doing sort of keeps evolving or changing. So it's very much combining lived experience using my background as being with the police as well as experiencing abuse, neurodivergence to really put it together to really help people rebuild and learn about what healthy relationships are, unhealthy relationships, to break the cycles of abuse, whether or not it's in the home, in schools, in workplaces, so we can start really connecting together again. And I sort of initially it was just more talking about the domestic abuse and then realised that people don't want to acknowledge that just yet. So really taking it softer to really just talk about the basics of relationships, what are signs, how we may feel in our body if something's not quite right, how we can get help. And yeah, so it's really, really expanding and absolutely loving it. And then it combines all sorts of bits and pieces in the background. So not replacing solicitors, I guess that more holistic approach to really empower and advocate for people so they can stand up for themselves without just leaving one relationship to give power to someone else who thinks they know it all because they've got a qualification on a piece of paper, and then how they can really rebuild and transform their life to change themselves, future generations and everybody.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Delighted to have you here. Let me just ensure there's one person trying to get in, but they can't. Looking to find the, where is that? Give me 1 second. Find the ID for number for her. Live here. Okay, where's the passcode? 1 second. Apologies for that. Just trying to get someone else. Passcode. All right. Anyways, let's move on. Okay, where is it? This one. All right, right here. Okay. Awesome. We have a great group here. I'm excited. And as you guys will see, it's not about the numbers. I see that you mentioned and that I don't want fame per se, I want impact. I have something like 33 subscribers. Well, as I will explain to you and show you guys this week, you don't need 10,000 subscribers to make your first dollar. All you need is just the right 10 people. With the right 10 people, you can start making an impact. And that's something that I'll share. This literally saved my life. And I mean it literally, beyond the blessings. I'll explain that to you in a moment. All right. So today's menu, let's go to the menu for today and tonight and the rest of the week. So after the meet and greet, I'm going to share with you my story in our podcasting not only transformed and changed, but also saved my life literally. Why is podcasting so powerful? Not only for your business, but even more so for you as a person. And that to me is going to be much, much more valuable than any financial blessing that podcasting will bless you guys. And you will see what I mean by that. And then we're going to finish by brainstorming. So, what is it that you want to achieve through your profitable podcast? Keyword being podcast. One thing when I say podcast, I mean both podcast and YouTube channel. But for simplicity's sake, I'm going to use podcast. So just want to clear that out. So tomorrow the menu is going to be, as you will see, you'll notice everything is going to be building from the previous days, like very logical sequence. It's like building a house, step by step, layer by layer. So today we're looking at what is it you want to achieve to your podcast, and tomorrow we're going to be doing something that's going to be the central foundation of everything that we're going to be doing from now on moving forward, and that is identifying your zone of genius, because we all have that, and that's going to be the central point of everything we're going to be doing. So tomorrow we're going to be brainstorming about that, and that's going to determine what is going to be your ideal client, what is the pain point you can solve, and for who. That's what we're going to be doing tomorrow. On day 3, we're going to be taking your zone of genius, the findings from day 2, and we're going to be crafting your irresistible slam dunk offer, high ticket offer. Whether you already have one, we're going to make it even more powerful. If you don't have one, you'll have one by the end of tomorrow, day 3. And then that's going to determine first, as I said, what is the number one pain point you're going to be solving and addressing to your podcast and your offer. For who? One very specific person. And I will introduce a very powerful principle of business that is absolutely non-negotiable if you want to not only be successful, but even have a business. And that is to have a quantifiable, measurable end result. That is going to be very important. Going to introduce that on day 3, Wednesday. And then day 4 is going to be all about the tech side, all the foundation for your both podcast and YouTube, how to format your podcast and naming your podcast the right way, creating a YouTube channel, creating your podcast cover art, thumbnails, the type of microphone, accessory software, recording, editing. Basically, you'll have my proven blueprint to launch your podcast and YouTube channel in 3 easy steps. So that's what you're going to be doing on Thursday. And on Friday, we're going to be looking at putting it together and monetizing it. And by monetizing, I don't mean getting peanuts from YouTube or Google. I've had my channel for almost 5 years. If I were to rely on the earnings, so to speak, from YouTube, I wouldn't even be able to afford a cup of coffee a month. And I'm not joking, because my videos I'm lucky if my videos get 50 views, but that's okay. I'm not playing the numbers game. It's not about vanity metrics. It's about connection, as I mentioned earlier. You don't need 10,000 subscribers to make your first dollar. You need the right 10 people. And that's what we're going to be emphasizing a lot during this week. Plus, I'm going to be sharing with you how to literally get leads on demand and clients organically through your podcast and YouTube channel, and then turning your podcast into an unstoppable machine. Plus, leveraging your podcast for much, much, much bigger opportunities. And as I will go through my story, we'll see what I mean by those opportunities. Raise your hand if you already know my story. All right. So kind of, and okay. All right. So in the month of March, I was invited to do a talk at a big conference for entrepreneurs here in Asia and Vietnam. I started my talk with this. Everything that I have today, I owe it to God, my family, and my podcast, in that order. Without a podcast, I would not even be here physically and literally. And that's what I mean. So 6 years ago, I was in a very, very, very dark spot. I was living in Asia and China and Hong Kong trying to build a business. It didn't work out. I literally ran out of money. If it wasn't for a friend of mine that allowed me to stay at this place for 13 months, that's 1 year and 1 month for free. That's something not even family would do for you. I would have been on the streets. I don't know if you guys been to Hong Kong, but Hong Kong is one of the most expensive cities in the world, where even a basic meal is going to cost you $15, $20. I was living in Hong Kong on $20 a week. Try living in Toronto, Brisbane, London, or even anywhere in the world, in the Western world, on $20 a week. That's impossible. But this is what I had to do. But ironically, so it was so bad. Do you guys remember in cartoons, you have the character sometime he or she has a black cloud hovering over their head, and it's raining just on them and following them, but everyone else is dry. That was me, meaning that I was not a newbie. I had built and sold a business before, but for some reason, no matter what I was trying, it was not working for me, while other people were having success with that. Can you guys relate with that? Have you been gone to a phase of your life where no matter what you did, nothing was working for you? Can you guys relate with that? All right. So, and because of that, it really made me question myself. What am I missing? What's wrong with me? Am I cursed? It got so bad that my credit card got canceled, my credit destroyed. I literally had to ask my sister to book me a ticket to return back to Canada because I had no credit card left. I'll never forget that day, Tuesday, the 27th of February 2020, right after the start of the pandemic, landing in Toronto with only $200 to my name. It was not a good place to be, but I never gave up. And ironically, what changed and turned things around for me had nothing to do with business. It had to do with me going through my spiritual awakening, understanding a few key principles about life. Most importantly, two things. Number one, the tremendous power of questions and asking the right question. Before, when something bad happened to me, I used to ask the wrong question. What have I done to deserve this? And whine like a little baby. And we all know that whining is not going to get you anywhere. Instead, I learned to ask, to understand, to ask better questions. No matter what we go through in life, if we're to look at those challenges through the lens of these two questions, what is it trying to teach me? What is a lesson for me to learn to that? Then we'll see for what they are. Two beautiful gifts for us. So that was the first thing. The second thing for me was to understand that I needed to reconnect with myself. And what do I mean by that? What I mean is that I needed to learn to listen to my gut feeling, to my hunches, to that voice in my head, to my soul. Because our soul has two main purposes. One, to protect you, keep you safe and alive, and to guide you to the next phase of your journey. If I were to look at my life over the last 5 years, the 3 to 4 decisions that completely changed my life have all come as a result of me asking better questions and listening to my gut feeling. For example, starting my podcast, starting my academy, saying yes to sharing my story, my first book, saying yes to sharing my story and my first TED Talk, saying yes to sharing my story at a conference. All of those have come as a result of these two things: asking better questions and listening to my gut feeling. So it was so bad that a lot of days I didn't want to get out of bed. At night, I would cry myself to sleep. Can you guys relate with that? Have you been to a phase of your life that you just were completely fed up? You didn't want to continue anymore. That you were at a point that enough is enough. I don't want to keep, hurting myself. So this is me. In Toronto, we live outside of in the countryside. There's a big highway, and on the other side there's a train track. Quite a lot of days I would just sit there and wonder what would be the easiest, fastest, and least painful way for me to check out, literally, because I want to keep going. But at the same time, in October of 2020, I started my podcast, and that was a turning point in the way that it literally saved my life. As I said, I was suicidal, but I got on calls with people all day long that had overcame 100 times, 1,000,000,000 times more painful challenges than me. People that lost it all and went to jail. People that had overcome and survived terminal diseases. People that had overcame life-altering accidents, becoming paraplegic. All of these incredible men and women all telling me, hey, just because you're going through some temporary, keyword temporary, financial challenges, it's not a reason for you to check out. You're young, you're not stupid, you've done it before, you can get back on your feet again. And I owe my life literally to these wonderful men and women, beside my family and God, for being here. So in that way, podcasting, as I said, literally saved my life. And by the grace of the Lord, I've been able to get back on my feet beyond my wildest dreams. Now my podcast is very successful, 400 episodes, going to my next 4,000 episodes soon. Thriving International Academy, 4-time #1 international bestselling author, TED Talk last year, my first one, conferences, and beautiful friendships. I'm tremendously grateful for these blessings. But do you guys know what is the greatest gift that podcasting blessed me with? Nothing to do with money, but in a way that everything to do with money, because that's what unlocks everything, and that is killing my shyness. I used to be incredibly painfully shy. Raise your hand if you were shy before or if had self-esteem issues before. It was so bad for me that the people that know me from before, when they see me talking live on online or even in front of stages in public, They asked me, what happened to you? Did you make a pact with the devil? I said, no, never did, never will. I just find my purpose, my voice, my ikigai or ma raison d'etre. And when you find that out, then you become the person you're meant to be. And even more so, I used to have not even zero, but negative self-esteem because I have a big nose, no hair. I used to be fat. I was never on pictures. I was always the guy taking the picture. This is what I mean. This is what I mean, that podcasting opened everything for me. And because of that, so let's move forward. I'll share the slides with you guys. You can watch my TED Talk later if you want. So raise your hand if you already have a podcast. And by podcast, I mean podcast and YouTube channel. Okay, just your hand, okay? Now raise your hand. Here's a question. If it's profitable. Anyone? Okay, let me catch up with the chat. Tony Robbins' Inner Circle and learning about right questions. I've been on a spiritual journey, learning to give. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, perfect. Thank you. All right. Now, raise your hand if you currently have an offer of at least $1,000 or more in your business. If not, why not? Do you not like money? All right, let's move forward. So, of course, you all wanna have your own platform so you can get high-ticket clients paying you $1,000 each. Am I right or right? All right, awesome. So why do you guys think that podcasting is so powerful for both your business and most importantly for you? Let me hear at least one or two answers. There's no right or wrong answers. Let me check the chat. Absolutely. Yes, Allison, absolutely. Anyone else want to share their thoughts on that?
Well, podcasts give us the platform to expand our impact,
Oh, absolutely.
to share our message to as many people as possible, whoever is ready
Absolutely.
to hear what we have to say.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. But before I even give you the go into that, I want you guys to take a look at this graph. So this year, almost $50 billion of business money is being done through podcasting. What do I mean by that? I mean people connecting on a podcast, joining forces, doing business together. If you look from last year, it grew by almost, oops, no, I don't want to remove anyone. Press the wrong button. Almost 20 billion increase from last year. And by 2029, which is not far from now, it's going to increase by another 100 billion. And guys, this graph is only for the US. So if you had Canada, Australia, UK, Western Europe, the rest of the world, the moon and all that, can easily 5-10x this. So the point is, there's never been a better time than right now, as I like to say, right now, to get onto this incredible wave. So let's take a look at the two different ways to monetize and make money with a YouTube and a podcast. On the left, we have the traditional, and I would call it obsolete way, which is build a massive audience, focus on the numbers, subscribers, views, downloads, become a slave to the almighty algorithm, and then hope and pray that the algorithm send you some love and you start making some money. That approach, it works for three type of people. If you already are a celebrity, if you have a massive existing audience, or if I can't even speak this morning, or if you are a world-class expert with a few PhDs after your name. Raise your hand if you're any of those. Nope. So for someone that wants to play the YouTube and podcast game the traditional way, this way, the vanity metrics way, it's going to take you at least 3 to 5 years. Seriously. Now, on the other hand, the much smarter way, call it the magnetic way, the impactful way, you do not need an audience to start with. You're not concerned about subscribers, viewers, downloads, or vanity metrics, and you're definitely not a slave to the algorithm of trying to come up with the latest moves to show your dancing skills on TikTok. Absolutely not. You know, so even a tiny audience can make you, as I said at the beginning, you don't need to wait to have 10,000 subscribers or more to make your first dollar. You just need the right 10 people, 10. And I'm not joking. So raise your hand if you had heard about this magnetic, impactful way of leveraging podcast and YouTube. No? Okay. Are you guys excited? Do you guys want to know more? All right, let's make it rain. All right. Here's a screenshot from 2 weeks ago. I should update that of my YouTube channel. As you can see, tiny audience, but big result. I need to update that. It's probably by now over 150 high ticket and very happy clients. If you go on my YouTube channel, you'll see it. Leaders with a heart. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Anyways, why is that? That is because business is not a numbers game. Sure, numbers matter, but ultimately it's a relationship nurturing process. Even more so when you're selling high ticket offers, high ticket meaning anything over $1,000 or more, it's about one thing and one thing only: trust. Now, how do you build that trust? By building rapport. How do you build that rapport? By having heart-to-heart conversations, being authentic, speaking from the heart. And what's the best way to do so? This, a podcast, having conversations. Now, why do you think, guys, that is the case? Why do you think that podcasting is the best way to connect with the exact ideal audience, prospect, and clients, and ultimately to make money?
Do you want us to come off mute?
Say that again?
Do you want us to come off mute? This
Sure.
is easier than typing it all out.
Okay.
I think honing in on the ideal message, like you're talking about, not only can you build trust quickly with the right impact, because you'll be talking to your right audience. I understand that concept. I need to learn how to do it better.
Absolutely.
Because when you have conversations back and forth versus just talking to a camera, this is what I've noticed myself anyway, is that you speak more authentically and it's back and forth conversation. So people can see you in real time, real conversation versus just blatting at a camera. So I took Sean Cannell's 5-day YouTube channel and I learned to blat at a camera. And it helped take away the nerves talking on camera and being able to talk like this on camera. But I think with a podcast and utilizing YouTube to have these conversations allows that authenticity to really shine more naturally.
Absolutely. Bingo. Absolutely. You said it all. Absolutely. Anyone wants to add to that? All right, let's move on. It's very simple. What you said, Anne, is absolutely spot on. But let's add to it. It's because when someone is listening to your podcast, it's for three main reasons. Number one, sure, they're interested in your topic, but it goes way deeper than that. The deeper reason is because they can relate with you, they can identify with you, they can see themselves in you, with your message, with your story, with your background, with your everything that you share. But also, most importantly, any one of you guys already listening to podcasts here? All right. How do you view the podcast hosts that have been listening for a while? How do you view them? As a friend, right? As someone you already know.
And somebody of authority.
Exactly. And as you start listening to someone after a few episodes, few weeks, you will start to like them because you'll get to see the personality, the sense of humor, the story, and you will view them as a friend, even though you may have never met them and never will met them, but you see them as a friend. And when you do that for your podcast, you will be seen as a friend, as a trusted friend, more importantly than an expert, because you see as a friend. And when they do that, oh, it's a game changer. Oops. What do you guys think is the most valuable currency in the world of business? It's not money, and it's not time.
Relationships.
But what do you need to build that relationship?
Trust.
Know, like, and trust.
Before that, what gets your foot in the door? Start with an A.
Authenticity.
Close. It's attention. Attention is the most valuable currency in the world of business, especially in today's, what is it, TikTok and all that you have. A few years ago, I read that the attention span of a normal adult is 7 seconds, which is that of a goldfish. But guess what, guys? Today, in 2025, mid-2025, it's 3 seconds, even less than a goldfish. So you're competing with all those cute cat memes and all these boys and girls doing the crazy dances and backflips on TikTok and on Instagram and stuff. So good luck trying to compete with that. So this is why when you listen to a podcast, or even more so when someone's listening to your podcast, they're giving you 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 minutes or more of the undivided and valuable time. And that's something that no other platform even comes close to. Does that make sense, guys? All right, now let's take a look at some of the incredible benefits of podcasting. First and foremost, for you as a person. Of course, the first one, the most obvious one, is that's going to be an incredible platform for you to share your story and document your journey. In the process, you'll be making phenomenal friendships around the world. Nowadays, I'm a nomad. Whenever before I go to a new location, I ask my on Facebook, on my network, hey, who's in this city? Who's in this country? And I meet my friends. So this is incredible. I love that. In the process of you releasing episodes, sharing your story, you're going to get access. This is one of the most powerful ways to people you normally wouldn't be able to get access to. Let's say you see someone on TV, or you read a piece about someone and you're inspired, you want to reach out to them. If you were to send them a message on LinkedIn or wherever, hey, Mr. So-and-so, Miss So-and-so, I just watched something about you, I read something about you. I would love to pick up your brains. What is the likelihood of them getting back to you? 0. You won't even get your message read. However, with what I'm going to be sharing with you guys, how would you guys like to have almost 100% reply rate? Where the person says, oh, absolutely, just say when. Because again, it doesn't matter how big your audience is. You having a podcast, you have an invaluable asset, and everyone wants to be on a podcast that talk about themselves, talk about their business. And in 5 years, 400 episodes, I had only 2 people tell me no, and that was a very soft no. The first one was a lady about to give birth, so we had to, of course, reschedule the podcast. But we did the podcast. And the second was a gentleman about to move for work from the US to Germany. And again, we had to reschedule it. But nobody has told me to get lost or ignore me, because everyone wants to be on a podcast. That's one of the most powerful benefits of podcasting, having your own podcast. Here's another beautiful, beautiful, beautiful benefits for you. You will start to learn about yourself and get to know yourself way deeper. I can't tell you how many times, guys, after listening to my own podcast before I release them, I caught myself saying, wait a second, did I really say that? Where is that coming from? When you get into beautiful conversations, you get in the zone. You get almost information being channeled through you. Can you guys relate with that? Have you been that way before? I will say things that you would not catch me dead saying in normal interactions. I'll say, who's that weirdo? But when I get in the zone, it flows naturally. And of course, I put in the center because that was the one that opened everything for me. It's going to help you overcome your shyness and fear of public speaking. Raise your hand if you are or used to be shy, or if you have fear of public speaking. So again, this is what's going to open everything. Overcoming your shyness and fear of public speaking, and more so, lack of self-esteem. And of course, in the process of you having your own podcast, is going to drastically improve your communication and listening skills. Big time, big time. One of my pet peeves and one of the biggest tips I can give you for your podcast YouTube channel, especially once you do interviews is to let the person finish the sentence. Don't cut them off. I can't tell you how many times I listened to a very interesting, fascinating conversation with a captivating person, and then the host interrupts every 2 seconds. Listen, it's not about you. I'm not listening because of you. I want to listen to the person's, and that's one of the biggest tips I can give you. Let the person finish. It's going to teach you to not just wait for the person to finish, but to really actively listen to make them feel heard. That's an incredible skill that you can apply in not only in business, but also in your personal life. And of course, over time, with you talking to incredible people with inspiring, empowering, and goosebump-inducing stories, guess what? It's going to make you a much, much more interesting person to talk to. All these experiences to draw from, to learn from. And of course, all of that is going to allow you to connect at a much deeper level to anyone you talk to, not just business. Your friends, your family, your kids, even heck, your couch and your walls. You'll be able to connect with them on a much deeper level. And all of that is going to make you become a more powerful and charismatic speaker and leader. Again, not just for business, but also in your personal life. And also, here's a very big one. That's why I put it in big, bold letters. Because podcasting is very fun. I wouldn't be doing it if I wasn't fun. You know? Everybody wants to have fun, not just girls. Boys wants to have fun too. You know? You guys remember that song? Girls want to have fun? Well, boys too. So again, in the process, most importantly, you will find your voice, your passion, your purpose. So do you guys see how those benefits personally can elevate you as a person? Can you guys see that? So all of these, which one is for you the most important one for you at where you are currently in your life?
I think for me, it would be part of the journey for sure. I've been struggling with my business to have consistent income. So being able to help that awareness for people get to know me on a more personal level, because I've been blasting the videos for like a year, not even a full year, to be honest with you, like just like the Facebook and the TikTok, like just doing the videos every day and just punching stuff out there, giving advice. But I noticed even doing that has helped me grow and evolve as an individual. When I sit back and reflect at where I am now versus where I was a year ago, even a year and a half ago, it's not the same person. So the evolution is huge. So now I want to be able to hone those in to be able to have more impact. And yeah, it's just what's next.
Absolutely, absolutely. If you guys were to go on my YouTube channel and look at the very first few videos, they're not good, but I leave them on purpose. First of all, it's very dark. The camera is right on my big fat nose. It makes my nose look like the moon. The microphone is I'm literally chewing on the microphone like this. I used to have a beard during the pandemic that made me look like 75 years older. And I used to speak like this. Hello, my name is Payment. I couldn't even look in the eyes. Hello, my name is Payment. But I leave it on purpose so people can see it, the journey. Even the biggest company in the world, Apple, started in a garage. If you had to compare the first iPhone to what we have now, it's a piece of crap. But it's a journey. So again, start. Anyone else wants to share what is on all of these the most important for them? Let me catch up with the chat.
I'll jump on things. I seem to be taking over the chat anyway.
Yeah.
I guess it's very much me for sharing that journey and just giving others hope and inspiration that things can change. Like, it doesn't matter how dark things can be, what's going on. Someone else is always at one step ahead of you, and that it's okay to start talking. And the more someone will talk, then someone else will talk, and someone else will talk, and then we'll have this really big ripple effect. And I know for me, like, I went from living in fear and hiding and refusing. Like, I shut my Facebook down because I was in so much fear and didn't want I was worried about being stalked, what they were going to do, and then realized that was controlling me even more, that it was like, fuck them. Let's just start being real. Let's start sharing.
Yep.
And since I've changed that, like the growth and changes, like we're only talking 2 months since I really, or not even that, but me going, hang on, why am I hiding? Why am I giving him the power back? And so many others have gone, wow, we can see the changes, the shifts, and it's giving them inspiration to now start talking and start helping. So it's really that flow and effect, but it's really, I guess it's getting me outside of my bubble, because I thought I was a piece of shit. Like I didn't think I had anything to offer. I was not wanting to talk to anyone. So for me, and having 3 young kids, seeing that ripple effect on them as well, like the youngest is only 8, is showing them that things can be better.
Absolutely.
So I think it combines all of that, and yeah, it's making big shifts for all of us. And I can't wait to see where it goes now that it's really expanding. Like that's what, like, old lives that kept coming up in memories, and it was like, well, I don't think I actually shared anything, and how much content I did have then, and now how it's just rehashed. So it's really exciting to be on this journey and really going, well, how can I excel and change it to really make that difference and help? Because that's what I've always wanted to do, is help others.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love it. Love it. Love it. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you. All right, let's move on. Now, let's take a look at some of the benefits of podcasting for your business so you can get money raining on you. Who wants to have money rain on them? All right. Of course, the first and obvious one is that's going to allow you to attract and connect with your exact ideal audience and clients. And by you sharing your story, it's going to allow you to give your listeners an opportunity to get to know you first and foremost as a human being, as a man, as a woman, before the business person. And the process of you sharing your story for them to get to know you, guess what? You will build a very intimate connection with your audience. And that's going to lead up to, here's one of the most powerful benefits of podcasting. Your best clients will be your podcast listeners. Let me repeat that. Your best clients will be your podcast listeners. And if I can take this one step further, 100% of my clients come from this, 100%. And guess what, guys? I have done 0 social media. 0. I don't do social media. It's a distraction. And I will share with you guys tomorrow why. So again, your very best clients will be your podcast listeners, because they will get to see you as a friend, as an expert. They will like you. It's gonna make things so much easier for you. In the middle, this is probably one of the most powerful benefits of podcasting for your business. Of course, it's going to be an amazing lead generation machine, but even way deeper and more powerful than that, it's going to be a phenomenal lead education machine. Because our number one task as a coach, as a mentor, as a guide, as an activator, whatever you want to call it, is to educate our audience, because we don't know what we don't know. Because your prospect, your client must care about the problem first before they care about your solution or you. Let me repeat that. Your client must care about the problem first before they care about you or your offer. What does that mean? That means that you need to really educate them. What is a problem? Why the problem is here in the first place? What's going to happen if they don't take any action to it? And then paint in the most vivid way for them the very steep cost of inaction. And once you do that, guess what? The next question in their mind is, holy crap, how do I solve this? Well, glad you asked, because you were the one that took the time to educate them, as opposed to pitching from the first word after hi, nice to meet you. Guess what? You will be the go-to person. Does that make sense, guys? So again, the lead education machine is going to be the central foundation of your business. Because again, your number one task is to educate your audience. Once you educate them, it's going to open the doors to all the blessings after. And of course, an easy and obvious one, you can leverage your podcast for endless content for other platforms. And by you having your own podcast, profitable podcast, building rapport and all that good stuff, guess what? It's going to elevate you and position you, not just as an expert, not just as a leader or authority in your field, but as their expert, their authority, their leader, their go-to person. Because again, you took the time, you've been taking the time to educate them. So this is very powerful. And of course, podcasting is fantastic for networking. As I mentioned, I showed you guys the graph earlier today. Podcasting booming. That's what I mean. This year alone, over $50 billion of business are going to be done as a result of people connecting on a podcast. And that's in the US alone. And Canada, Australia, New Zealand, UK, Europe, the world, moon, it's going to be times 10. So, and of course, an incredible, powerful launching pad for much, much bigger things. For example, for me, beyond getting me a successful podcast, got me into publishing. 4 number one best-selling books, international best-selling books, public speaking, TED Talk, conferences, and so on and so forth. Now I'm planning on hosting my own event conference next year. TV, radio, so there's no limit. And if you put all of this together, it's going to drastically reduce the sales cycle of whatever you're selling, because it's going to do the hard work for you to allow your prospect, your listeners, your ideal clients to get to know you, to see you as a friend, as a trusted friend that's not here just to sell, but to really first and foremost educate them. This is very key, guys. Our number one task is to educate our audience. That's the number one. Number two, once you've educated them, make them believe that they can do it, that what you're offering works for them. If you can do that, if you can achieve that, there's no selling involved. Does that make sense, guys? All right, let's move on. Oh, any question? Oh, sorry, my bad. Of all of these, which one is for you the most powerful benefit of podcasting for your business? Anne, you have your hand raised. Go ahead.
Yeah, you might cover this at a later day. I don't know. But like for me, like I've not gotten into the podcast world per se. It's only been a little bit on my YouTube channel. But where would you post your podcast? Or is that something that you're going to cover later on?
Yes, it's going to be covered on Thursday, Tech Day. But to answer your question, for me, my videos go on my YouTube channel and on my Facebook page. And I also publish the audio on my Apple platform.
Okay.
We'll cover
that's
all
what
of
I was
that on
wondering.
Thursday. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Great question. So which one of these is the most powerful benefit of podcasting for your business? Why does it show I have my hand raised? I don't need to raise my hand. I'll just speak. I'm just joking. So who wants to share the answer?
Well, for me, everything it's something I resonate with, but our best clients will be our podcast listeners. So we automatically and magically attract them because
Yes.
they listen to what we share, they resonate with the message, and trust is built, and they turn then to our customers in a very natural, organic way.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Anyone else wants to share their answer? Don't be shy.
I agree with her. I think attracting the clients
Mhm.
and connecting with them would be my number one, but all of
Absolutely.
them would be important. But that would be my number one goal.
Absolutely. 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 Becca, Allison, do you guys want to share your?
For me, it's definitely like my position being expert and leader in the field, like being able to really show and change things, because everyone's so focused on paper qualifications that takes away the personal touch to really be able to go, look, yes, qualifications and help and excel in what I'm doing, but it's not the be all and end all. And you're going to get a better result being able to combine everything rather than just one piece of paper or one something else. So really being that expert and leader is where I really want to grow to.
Absolutely. What about you, Becca?
Yeah, same actually as Alison. Yeah, like kind of like the idea of it showing that I know what I'm talking about. And
Awesome.
like you said, it's a way of showing people like the real you, and they feel like they're having a conversation with you friend to friend in their living room or something, right? And that's what I kind of try to go for. Like I'm still quite new this year with my videos, but I've been doing like live Instagram ones every Wednesday, and I started it off like you were saying, like my first video is all dark and it's all awful, and I don't know what I'm doing. I've never knew how to do Instagram live, and the end bit's like, how do I turn this off, you know? And like now it's just like I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to talk to you guys and share what I'm really passionate about right now. Like it's always got a subject, and I'm like, right, this is what we're doing today. This is, if you have any questions, just let me know. And I've become a lot more relaxed. And I mean, it's only, I think, episode 25 or something this week or something. But like just in those 25 weeks or whatever it is,
Yeah.
like I've really found that it's helped me, and I've
Yeah.
become a lot more relaxed with everything. So
That's it.
absolutely.
Beautiful. Speaking of that, that's a great point. Especially if you're shy, if you have social anxiety, you don't feel comfortable in front of a camera. Here's a fun challenge. For 30 days each day, go live on your Facebook for 5 minutes. Just talk about whatever's on your mind, what you've done today, what you learned, what you saw, anything. Doesn't matter if your only audience is just your cat, your couch, and the TV. It's okay. The point is not to gather audience, but to become, first, you need to become comfortable so you can become confident. And that's something that will happen over time. So do that. If you have any not comfortable for camera, start going live 5 minutes a day on your wall, Instagram, wherever. Share whatever's on your mind. Because the point of that is for you to get first more comfortable so you can become more confident after. That's a fun little challenge for you guys. All right, let's move on. Do you guys know this guy? Russell Brunson, co-founder of ClickFunnels, a big multi-billion-dollar company. Here's a powerful quote. Music and radio listeners make on average $60,000 a year, while podcast listeners make double. Why do you guys think that is? There's no right or wrong answer.
It's education. It's not just mindless news that's controlled by higher powers of what they're feeding our brains. We're feeding our own brains. We're educating ourselves and empowering ourselves by taking the alternative.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Anyone else wants to add to that? All right. It's because the people that listen to podcasts, they're more driven, more motivated, more focused, have more clarity. And as a result of that, they're more successful. And because they're more successful, they have more money, disposable money to invest themselves because they understand the value of self-investment. Don't get me wrong. I love music. I love listening to music as well. But from time to time, I love going on long walks, downloading a video from YouTube and just listening to it. Because it's always about expanding your mind, learning from guys and girls that have done it that are a few steps ahead of you. And that's what podcasting does. Because podcasting is literally replacing radio, just like YouTube is replacing TV, cable TV. And the good news is you can all have your own radio station and TV channel, straight from your phone or from your laptop. I mentioned that before, and this is a point worth mentioning that you deserve its own slide. Your podcast listeners will be your best clients. As I said earlier, 100% of my clients have come from this. And because from my podcast, and because of that, I only do business nowadays with people that I connected with on podcasts. I'm sure just like most of you guys, you get bombarded every day with people trying to friend request you. And from the first message after, hi, nice to meet you, try to pitch you. At first, I used to respond to them, but now I don't even bother. I used to say, you want to do business with me, get to know me. So again, why is that? Your best clients will be your podcast listeners because by listening to you, they will get to know you, relate with you, your story. They will see you as a friend. you will build this trust and rapport to them. And once you build this trust and rapport, there's no need for you to pitch, to sell, to convince, as I like to say in a funny, cheesy way, to seduce or kidnap someone to do business with them. It's a natural, automatic, organic progression. Hey, what do you do, Becca? Oh, I do X for Y. What about you, Madlena? X for Y. Wow, that's exactly what I'm looking for. Can you help me? Sure, let's have a time to talk. When you do that, there's no need to chase, to beg, to submit a proposal that never gets read or replied. So instead, it's very natural, very organic. This is why, again, 100% of my clients come from this. And your best clients will be your podcast listeners. Do you guys see how powerful that is when done the right way? Because again, high tickets, if I'm selling you this mug for $10 on Amazon, well, let me show you the actually artwork on it. You like it, you buy it. You don't need to think about it. You don't care about me. But when you're looking to invest in anything over $1,000, pounds or euros, you definitely want to talk to me to get to know me. And that's what podcasting is all about. Now, let's talk about you. What do you guys want to achieve to your profitable podcast? One sentence, everyone. Let's go left to right. And
God, what do I want to achieve through it? Would be to connect with the ideal clients, to be able to have that bigger impact. So like you say, it's not so much focusing on the money, but being able to have it just naturally come in and flow instead of having to pre-qualify my clientele. I want them to be able to come in naturally and be pre-qualified through what I'm teaching. I want them to connect with the education and me as a personality, because I'm not for everyone. I can own it. And, I don't want to have to wean people out that aren't going to relate to me, because I won't be able to help them if they're going to shut down and not be receptive to my way of coaching and teaching.
that's a very key point. Thank you for bringing this up. And I'm going to expand on that later on. But one thing I want to tell you, your message is not meant for the world. It's okay. Your message is meant for the right people. And one thing I will share with you, and I will emphasize on that a lot, is that you are your own avatar. Your avatar is not some fictional character, say Susie from HR that makes $75,000 a year and drives a Honda Civic and drinks every morning at 7:23 a matcha latte on her way, or Mike from finance making $85,000 a year driving a BMW. He has a golden retriever and a midlife crisis, packed in a gym bag. No, because I could never relate with that. However, your avatar is you, because when someone is looking for a coach and looking to invest thousands of dollars, pounds, or euros, they don't want a disconnected billionaire. They want someone that is just 1, 2, 3, or 4 steps ahead of them, someone they can relate with, identify with, resonate with. So ultimately, your job is to find your Anns, your Madlenas, your Beccas, your Allisons, my payments. The man or woman is just a few steps behind me. Your avatar is the version of you just a few steps ago. That's the biggest step I can give you. The biggest, if there's one thing I want you to, if you can remember this from this entire week, you'll be golden. You are your avatar. Don't try to help the world. No. This is what I said at the beginning. You need the 10 right people. Again, your Beccas, your Allisons, your Madlenas, your Anns, my payments, and so on and so forth. Because again, you are your avatar, not some fictional character. Does that make sense, guys? This is key. This is central. This is one of the biggest misconceptions people have. Oh, let me create a fictional avatar. Even some people go as far as giving it a name, a picture, hobbies. Come on, stop wasting your time. Nobody has the time to learn about someone that is not them. At least that's how I feel. All right, here's some foundational questions. Let's take a look at them. Wait, let me put this here. And we've covered that. And I want you guys to really think this through and brainstorm with yourselves. Take a piece of paper and really answer this, because this is not for me, this is for you. Because ultimately, the name of the game is clarity. The more clarity you have, the more magnetic your message will be, the more impactful it will be, and guess what? The more profitable it will be. Laser clarity. Why do you want to launch a profitable podcast now and not 3 years ago or three years from now? That's very key. The key word here is now. Let's hear it. One short sentence, each person. Why now?
Because I'm ready.
I love
And
that.
the world is ready to hear my message, but I'm ready.
Remember, not the world, but you, Madlinas. To them, you're their world, and they're your world.
Yeah.
And why now?
Ditto what she said.
Love that. Becca.
Freedom to travel and share knowledge.
Love that. Love that. Allison. Why now?
Because I'm ready to be seen and heard, and everyone needs to know that they're safe.
Yes. Again, remember, not everyone. You're Allison's. So absolutely love that. Where are you now in your business? Do you even have a business now? Again, these are questions for you. I want you to really take a good, honest look at those questions because, again, clarity is the name of the game. And I already mentioned that. What do you want to achieve in your business? And the big one, what's holding you back from achieving that goal? Exactly. Our biggest enemy is right here in between your two ears. We overthink, we get on the way. Who the hell do you think I am? I'm a nobody. My story doesn't matter. I have a big fat nose. No, that's nonsense. It's not about that. It's about your story. So answer those questions on your own and feel free to answer to share the answer. We have a Facebook group, Facebook Messenger, and I will also create a WhatsApp group as well for us to interact. Now, when I started my academy, when I asked people, do you have your own podcast? 99% would say no. When I ask them why, these are the three most common reasons. I have no idea where to start. I'm not a techie, and I don't know how to get the right people on my podcast and grow it and monetize it. Can you guys relate with any of these? Which one of these is the one that's been holding you back the most?
A year ago, it was all of them. Then I got caught up in the time it would take to edit and prepare. And then I realized I didn't even have to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
That I could just take it and upload it.
That's it.
So yeah, for me now, it's just getting the people in. And I don't even want to say the right people, because even though my message is going to talk to certain people, who's to say that I'm not going to have a payment on my podcast that's going to relate to other people?
That's it. Absolutely. Love that. Anyone else wants to share their answer?
Yeah, for me, it was very much that tech. And like, I was happy to go live. Like, I'll go live with no hesitation, but it's like, oh, you've got to do a podcast and you've got to have the right tech. You've got to have the right equipment. You've got to edit it. You've got to do this. And I'm like, fuck, I want to be real. I want to get a message out. I want to share. Why can't I just do that? So that's probably what stopped me, because I thought, because everyone else had different ways to do it, was I had to be like everyone else.
Absolutely. And speaking of that, one thing that I always recommend is be unapologetically unauthentic. If you speak using the F word, by all means, do that. Look at Gary V. You guys know Gary V? Very, look him up. Gary Vaynerchuk, Gary V. Very successful entrepreneur from New York. And the guy, every 5 words has 2 F words. But that's him. People love it because that's him. The last thing you want to do is to be a polished corporate drone. That's the fastest way to lose your audience. Nope. Bye. They want to see you. They want to know your personality. Let your humor shine. Because again, you're sharing your gift, your stories. You're not doing a presentation in front of a UN or in front of a boardroom. No, it's about you sharing your story in front of your world, your aunts, your Madlinas, your Beccas, your Alice's, my payment, and so on and so forth. So let them know who's truly you. Again, I mentioned these most common reason not to start a podcast. I used to big time be affected by those. Who am I? Who's going to listen to me? I'm a nobody. My story doesn't matter. I don't matter. My nose is bigger than the Gaza pyramid, in Egypt, with the Sphinx. I'm not an expert in anything. I don't have a PhD. Who cares? It's not about that. Because it's not about you. It's not about how you look or none of that nonsense, but it's about your gifts, your story, your voice, your message, your experiences, and all that good stuff. And those are worth sharing. Are you guys ready to share your gifts? Not with the world, but with your Allisons, your Beccas, your Madlenas, your aunts, my payment, and so on and so forth. For example, can I become a successful coach for women going through pregnancy? Can I learn it? Sure, but can I really understand it and connect and relate with, and can they relate to me? Absolutely not. Because unfortunately, I cannot get pregnant. No matter what they try to make you believe. So that's what I'm saying. You don't have to learn a new skill. You just look at the mirror. Ah, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too. What's your story? Now share it. Simple as that. That's the most simplest way to summarize what I'm saying. And the good news is a profitable, keyword being profitable, podcast / YouTube channel can be launched in 3 easy steps. We're doing it right now. First, the foundation, which is what we're going to be doing the first 3 days. The tech on Thursday, and the launch, meaning the money part, on Friday. That's a schedule. So here's your daily action step for today. So we have a Facebook group. We have a Facebook Messenger group, but also WhatsApp. What do you guys prefer as your preferred platform, Facebook or WhatsApp? I personally prefer WhatsApp, and most students prefer WhatsApp.
I'm Facebook, only because I'm an Aussie, but I'm very much learning WhatsApp. So you put me in it, and it's going to have to help me learn to use it more.
All right. What about you, Anne?
Either is good for me. I use both.
Okay. Becca? Message in a bottle?
Yeah, either is fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Or a message in the bottle. That's
All
good
right,
too.
cool. All right, so I already have your WhatsApp, Madlena. So if you can send your WhatsApps to me on Messenger, and I'll add you guys, and I'll create a WhatsApp group for us, and I'll add my marketing genius, Michiel from the Netherlands. You can't make it because it's 2 o'clock in the morning, but they'll be very active in the WhatsApp group. It's gonna help you guys with anything, especially with your offer. Is a killer genius when it comes to crafting irresistible offer. So send me that. So share in one sentence inside the WhatsApp group later today or tonight, tomorrow morning. In one sentence, the top 3 objectives of your profitable podcast and YouTube channel. Don't worry, guys. I'll be sharing with you guys replay and the slides after each call. So I want you guys to focus, and then you can, So that's your assignment, not assignment, your daily action steps. The assignment makes it look like boring. It's not school. It's fun. All right. Well, guess what? We've done for today. Congratulations. Any questions so far? As my good friend Phil, the pastor, would say, speak now, hold your peace forever.
Should we start
That was
interviewing
brilliant.
each other now?
Say that again, Anne. Sorry?
Should we start interviewing each other now?
By all means. Hey, this is what I love that. Yes, get onto each other's podcasts, interview each other. Yes, absolutely. Not only to interview, but also to get to know each other. I'm sure there may be some synchronicity for you guys to cook it magic. Like in the just last academy class from the UK that just finished last week, 2 ladies got together. Now they're starting a business together because of the synchronicity. So this is one of the biggest benefits of any events, both online and offline, is the people you meet. Over and beyond me. So
I love it. And
go ahead.
my day on Friday was meant to be hectic, and now I've got 8 hours back, so I can't wait. I know what I'm doing on Friday now, podcast instead of sitting at an expo.
Love that. I love your passion, Allison. Becca, any questions? Questions, comments, compliments, especially about my beautiful shiny hair? Oh, thank you, Becca.
Your hair's beautiful.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
So's your nose.
Oh, thank you. It's not Cleopatra nose, but hey, it's a work in progress. Madeleine, any question?
No, it's a lot of things to ponder about.
Yes, absolutely. All right. So here's a sneak peek about tomorrow, day 2. Every day is going to be building upon the previous day. So do not skip any day. Tomorrow, we're going to be deep diving into brainstorming as to what is your zone of genius. That's going to be the central foundation of everything we're going to be doing, because from then, it's going to show you in a very logical way what is a pain point you're solving and for who, and what is your profitable podcast, YouTube channel, and ultimately your offer, your business is going to be about. I need to change there's a typo here. Forgot the I. But anyways, so that's a sneak peek about tomorrow. Let me check. Okay. 80 questions. Last minute question before we call it a day and night. Well, you guys are amazing. No questions.
You're just so good.
How am I so okay? Thank you. I appreciate that.
I just got a whiff of the roses too, so being able to smell the roses is freaking awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. What is Zoom telling me? We notice you have spoken, so we'll lower your hand in 7 seconds. What the hell is this?
Oh, when you wave your hands, it'll put your hand up. That's
I know,
probably
right?
why your hand went up.
All right. I will do it. All right, guys. So if you have no more questions, thank you for your time for today, this morning, this evening for some of you guys. And I don't know how to say that for you, Madlena, this time. Is it 2 o'clock in the morning for you?
It's free
Oh,
3:16 now.
Even
But
better.
one thing I want to tell you, thank you, Payman, for bringing this beautiful souls together. So it's on my heart.
Pleasure is all mine. And also, there's a few people that couldn't make it today. They will be here tomorrow. So yeah, if you know any other people that would benefit from it, invite them over, because the more we are, the merrier. All right. So thank you, guys. Have a beautiful rest of your day, evening. Send me your WhatsApp numbers, please, on Messenger, and I'll create a WhatsApp group after this where I'll be sharing. I will also be creating a Google document. I'm going to be each day adding the replays and the slides day by day, so you can access to all the content under one roof. See all the things I'm doing for you guys.
You're
I want you
awesome.
guys to win. All right, guys, go
I'm
win.
ready.
Tell your stories with your Madlenas, your Beccas, your Allisons, your Ann, my payments, so we can create a better world and start making money and travel and enjoy this beautiful planet. All right, my dear friends, love you all. See you tomorrow. Take care.
Bye bye.